there and welcome to Geopolitics 411. Of course, by now I want to imagine everyone is aware that we are either at the verge of World War III or we have people who want to test their nuclear weapons and they've made the world their stage. And I'm speaking about none other than Israel because they have decided to go all the way with Iran. So this is what we are reviewing, and with me I have the statement that the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued, and I just want to go looking through it just so we understand what Netanyahu means and what he wants.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric.
So straight up from the beginning, Benjamin is already saying that he's ready for war. He's not speaking as if he's apologetic or sorry about what has happened. Basically, he's saying Iran has been pushing for a nuclear war, and because of that, Israel has decided to open the war, set the stage for what they're calling the Rising Lion, and they're ready for it. Is it for the good or the bad of these two countries and the world? Really something humanity wonders, and as we watch, we are all worried on what happens next.
In years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year.
I think there are questions that have been raised over the years, and critics, of course, argue whether both Israel and Iran have nuclear weapons. But from the way Netanyahu is speaking, seems like he's very confident that Iran has, or else it could be a thing of wanting to, punish Iran, so claim that the country has weapons. But also following up on the social media spaces from Iran military account on Twitter, I mean, they're not apologetic. They're saying they didn't start the war and they are ready for war. So really hard. I don't know if the world is ready for nuclear, or if this happens and goes on, then what happens next?
A year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime.
It's very interesting. He appreciates that there was a Holocaust that happened, but today Israel, which is doing a lot of bombing and killings, then they do not feel like they're causing another Holocaust, and they're not even apologetic. They're just speaking as if it's just a defense system for them. They really don't care about the lives that are being lost, and Netanyahu doesn't look apologetic. He's here quoting the Holocaust that happened when the Nazis attacked the Jews, but now that it's the ball is in their court, they do not look at the mirror and see themselves as the people causing a Holocaust. Really sad, if you ask me, and I hope the world is going to take action from this, because we cannot let the world just be open and allow other people to kill others at their own will.
Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey.
So it's very interesting that Netanyahu is speaking of their attack as having attacked the main areas where Iran was doing, they attacked the places where the Islamic Revolutionary Guards had the power and the branch, like they were sure of where they are attacking and saying that they targeted the heart of Iran's program. So it's very interesting because personally, I am not convinced Iran has nuclear weapons. I'm not even convinced if Israel has nuclear weapons. And why do I say this? Every time Israel wants to go to war, or even during this war that has been happening with Palestine, their biggest backer is always the US. So, I mean, if they had proper artillery that would make attack and maybe stop the world, why is it that they always want to go to the US for support? So for me, with that in mind, I always look at it and think these guys actually do not have that. Even this whole idea of them targeting Iran, I don't think, even with the drone attacks that happened last year, I really am not convinced it's a nuclear attack. And I am hoping actually we do not get there. And for me, it would even be better if actually they do not have, because then if they have and they decide to go all out, then the world may be faced by WW3, which would be sad for the whole country, because at the end of the day, no one benefits from war. If you attack, you kill a whole population of humanity, and then what next? So quite sad, but let's continue.
This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. We crushed Hamas, we devastated Hezbollah, we hit Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen. And when Iran directly attacked us twice last year, we struck back inside Iran itself. Yet in defending ourselves, we also defend others. We defend our Arab neighbors. They too have suffered from Iran's campaign of chaos and carnage. Our actions against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of a new government in Lebanon and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years.
It's amazing that a prime minister of a different country would be really trying to convince the citizens of Iran that the fight is not against them. When you drop these bombs and kill people, who are you killing? So how are you killing people and convincing them that the fight is not against them? If you're fighting their country, you are fighting the people, because a country is made up of people. So this whole idea of Netanyahu saying that they're trying to protect and liberate these countries, it's really for personal interest and nothing to do with wanting to offer aid to these countries. And as it is, I think Iran already knows that. That's why they are reacting how they will. And it's amazing. Someone would be convinced that killing citizens of another nation works well for them and for their good, while killing citizens, while the same Israel is actually killing Palestinians. And they do not see themselves as the aggressors, but they're very loud to speak of another country causing trouble to its own citizens because of dictatorship. What is worse dictatorship than what Netanyahu is doing for his own country and for the people of Palestine?
I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America. Remember, Iran calls Israel the small...
See why I was convinced that this whole fight has nothing to do with Israel, or why I don't trust that they have nuclear. He had to rope in America in this by saying that when these nuclear weapons are produced en masse, then they will have the fight will even come closer to the US. I don't think so. I think this is just a guy who's speaking for some other power probably. And of course, we know the Middle East is of interest also to the US. So for Netanyahu to give such a statement and for US not even to condemn them, and then he's quoting that the war will come close to US, it's just something I think everyone should be seeing by now what is happening. And if you look at the statement that was made by the US Secretary of State, Peter, then you can actually put the dots together and see that there's much. Even when he was defending, when asked if the U.S. wants to take over some of those states like Greenland, and the response to the Congress was quite something. So if you connect that and what Netanyahu is talking about, you can actually connect the dots and see there's interest. These two nations actually have an interest in Iran, and the larger Middle East. So it has nothing about protecting the citizens.
America, a great Satan. And this is why for decades, it's led millions in the chance of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls with action and with a call of our own. Long live Israel and long live America. Our action will help make...
These two countries are convinced they must be the top of the world, they must be the superpowers. And he's speaking about long live America, which quote unquote have not said they were involved in the attack. But then the prime minister of another country is involved and saying that they're working together to eliminate another nation. Really unfortunate in this time.
Action will help make the world a much safer place. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear weapons program. He has made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying for time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations. That is why we have no choice but to act, and act now. The hardest decision any leader has to make is to thwart a danger before it is fully materialized. Nearly a century ago, facing the Nazis, a generation of leaders failed to act in time. They were paralyzed by the horrors of World War I. They were determined to avoid war at all costs, and they got the worst war ever. They adopted a policy of appeasement. They closed their eyes and ears to all the warning signs. That failure to act resulted in World War II, the deadliest war in history. It claimed the lives of 60 million.
When Netanyahu speaks about claiming the lives of 60 million in World War II, does he actually know how many lives they have lost as we speak? Because Israel has been attacking Palestine. So when they make these attacks like what happened and what is expected to continue, then does it, I mean, it's very weird. You're talking about World War II and the number of people that were killed. Then you're talking about killings. You're actually perpetuating killings and murder. And you think that you can lecture the world about avoiding World War III. As in, so far, the number of people that have been killed by Israel is enough, I think, to cover what World War II did. So we may not be in World War III, but the murders that have been perpetrated by Israel is beyond imagination. And it is very unfortunate. And I don't understand why world leaders really don't want to call him out. I mean, of course, Trump won't call him out because these are partners in crime. But I hope other world leaders can speak against this.
Including 6 million Jews, a third of my people. After that war, the Jewish people and the Jewish state vowed never again. Well, never again is now. Today, Israel has shown that we have learned the lessons of history. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first.
Remember, if you're a believer of history, you know very well what Karl Marx wants, that religion is an opium of the masses. In my opinion, this is the exact place of what Karl Marx was describing, that this Prime Minister Netanyahu is using religion to ascertain or just to confirm that what they did was okay. And then the world, who are Christians majorly, the larger part of Christians will believe, okay, they did it to protect themselves. Okay, the Bible says this. Why are we quoting the Bible when we have been killing people, when the same Bible says that murder is wrong? Like, does it even make sense? Like, do some of these leaders listen to themselves when they're speaking? I mean, we are not stupid anymore. The world is now very well informed. And I think making such quotes and claims when you have killed so many people must be condemned by the whole world. Jeez.
Exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Today, our strong and courageous soldiers and people stand together.
The world must stand strong against evil people, people who kill others, murderers who perpetuate evil, murderers who want to bring World War III, and nothing to do with what Moses did in the Bible. That's trash, in my opinion, and should not be tolerated at all. Gosh.
We defend many others, and we roll back a murderous tyranny. Generations from now, history will record that our generation stood its ground, acted in time, and secured our common future. May God bless Israel. May God bless the forces of civilization everywhere. Thank you.
History will judge Israel so harshly and actually judge the world and the rest of us if we don't speak against these crimes against humanity. And I want to believe and call out everyone, there comes a time when you have to speak out against evil. Don't let evil people prosper as we watch. It is unfortunate. It should not happen and it should never be allowed. You tell me what you think in the comment section and how you feel about this. And how much more should we allow Israel to kill people as we watch? Why? Remember, injustice anywhere is injustice for everyone. So let's not allow it to happen. It's really disturbing for me, and I really feel bad about it. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. The world is fast-paced and sometimes you miss the action. What perspectives do you have? What is the truth? Is the world at war? Join me, Sarah Mwangi, as we make sense of the information overload.